Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We review anything and everything. And today we are doing an unboxing video and I guess a first impression video as well of the Blink Outdoor 4 and the Blink Video Doorbell. Now, I've actually previously owned one Blink Outdoor 3. I guess that's generation 3. A generation 3 camera. And I used it a little bit and it was cool, but I didn't really get to dive into it deep. But this time there was a sale. I needed to buy me a new video surveillance system. So it happened to be a sale. It was, I wouldn't call it Prime Day, but they gave it a different name, not regular Prime Day, but a bonus Prime Day. I'm going to throw a link in the description. Obviously, these things are probably not going to be a sale at the time, but obviously you can always wait when it comes to Amazon for sale because they always have a sale at least somewhere between 2 to 3 times a year on their Amazon-based products. Now, with that being said, they said I'm going to throw a link in the description for the affiliate link where you can purchase this, and we're going to dive in just to give you guys an idea of, like I said, how things look and whatnot. Now, I'm going to unbox all of them, even though the truth is this right here really would suffice, but I just want to see if, because this says add-on camera, and I actually don't know if this was the full system or just a set of cameras, even though it says 3 camera system. But sometimes when you buy them, they'll come as just the cameras, and then sometimes you can buy them with the system. What the system is another little box device that's the same size of one of these cameras, and essentially it's almost like, for lack of a better word, it's like the equivalent of like a router that connects all of them and allows it to work. Obviously you need that for it to work, but if you already have one of those, older one, which I actually do, because I bought the one camera and it came with the little box, which is part of the system, then you wouldn't need to buy another system. You could buy just the cameras, which makes it cheaper, generally speaking. So I don't know if that's going to be included in here. So what I'm going to do is unbox that as well in the video. And this, I'm just going to unbox just to show you what comes with just a single one. So I'm going to jump into that. Before I do, actually, let me come back to the Blink Video Doorbell. Now, I don't know a whole bunch on this right here, but it says install wired or wire free. So I guess there's a way that you can plug it in. Like I said, I don't really know too much, so we'll kind of breeze through some of the information on it. Battery or wired, so you can plug it in where it doesn't use the battery. I guess having the battery is going to be very similar to the Blink cameras, because the Blink cameras only use battery to the best of my knowledge. Day and night, HD live view, two-way audio, chime alerts. Now, one thing I will say too is that I got this on sale as well, but generally speaking, if it was just cheaper for you to just have one of these at your front door, looking at it, it won't have whatever these bell features are and people ringing the bell, but essentially you'd be able to do kind of the same thing just in terms of monitoring who's there. So it may give you less functions, but I just say that through as an option out there, because say if you just want to save money and you want to have that camera right there looking at your front door with this, essentially you're getting that without having to then pay an additional for this. I mean, I happened to catch this on sale at the time. They said about $30, so it wasn't a big deal. Generally speaking, I think these cameras, an individual one not on sale, goes for something like about $70, $75. But the more you get, the cheaper it is. Like I think a 2 camera pack is like maybe $125. So you start saving $25, and you get the 3 pack, and it's a little cheaper the more cameras you get. So I just want to say that in case you want to go that option, because generally speaking, in my old dated surveillance camera setup, I always had one camera just facing the front door area, kind of giving a little widespread or 3/4 angle of the front doorway from a side angle kind of. And obviously that was predating the any of these kind of doorbells, Blink doorbell, and what's the other one, Ring. So most people would have just done that back in the past. Now, like I said, they have these. I'll probably end up doing it anyway, where I can see the whole front area anyway, and this, so it's going to kind of double up to be two of the same thing. Which I don't know if this right here then would work with a collection of, like, say, a grid on your phone or wherever you're monitoring it from, of boxes of, like, which camera one, camera two, camera three, like that. I don't know. But with that being said, as far as, I'm sorry, if this would show up on that whole list of cameras on your thing. But with that being said, I do know that it says this, if you could use it individually, but then you could also use it with your Blink setup. So right here, it even tells you right here. Features may vary with configuration. You can see that on the camera. And settings, additional features available when wired or with the sync module 2. So the sync module 2 is that little, like I said, system that goes, the little box system that goes with the Blink cameras. So that might make it where it appears as one of the cameras on your camera roster, camera 1, 2, 3, and Blink Video Doorbell. So with that said, look at that. Peace of mind at your door. Not because of this. A little corny joke. Let's rip into this a little bit. It says right here on the side, as I'm cutting this open, 1 Blink Video Doorbell, 2 A batteries, 4 screws, 1 case opening tool, 2 wired extensions. So I know that this thing's supposed to come with, if I'm not mistaken, a little kind of like back panel that the thing's supposed to attach on. I hope it has a sticky pad thing rather than needing to just use screws, because to be honest with you, not everyone wants to screw it, depending on the outside of their door, their wall setup, or outside of their home setup, that they want to screw this in. I like the box setup. Looks kind of nice. Feels, very Amazon, obviously, but yeah, I kind of like that. Now, I don't want to just, let's see, here we go. I didn't want to break it or do anything kind of crazy when it comes to opening this. And of course, this is stuck on with some of this kind of little funny, nasty gel stuff that they always put on things. Getting started with the Blink. Download, okay, this whole thing. How to mount your video doorbell. This tells you right here. You can pause the video to read that real quick if you need to. Attach the video doorbell to your home. Yeah, so it's saying you got to use the screws. I don't like the idea of that, but let's see if there's alternative ways to do it. Who knows? Maybe a person can go and, I mean, that makes it a lot more secure. But then again, maybe you can go get some of that. What is those sticky things? 3M sticky attachment things. Yeah. Let me make sure I don't lose some of these things, because so here is the camera itself, the Blink doorbell itself. That's where the batteries go. Supposedly this thing should last, what does it say on the box? I'm not seeing it, but I know that the cameras last 2 years on battery power. So I believe this thing probably will last. I think I've seen it somewhere say something similar. Is this for the back right here? Okay, and that just pops in like that. Just reading some of the details on it. Pull the tab out. Why would you pull the tab out? What is that referring to on here? I don't know. There's like a little, I don't know what that's for. It's like you poke something in there. I guess there's some kind of like something that you put in the bottom here. I don't know what that does. That's weird for attaching this. I don't know. I mean, I have to read through that. But like I said, I'm not going to go too crazy with everything right now. We're just kind of really taking a look at things and what you get into the box. There goes the batteries right there on the side. Here goes your screws, and then your I forget what those things are called before. I used to know what they were called, but like when you got to put them into the wall to make the screws fit easier, which, like I said, me personally, I really don't want to have to drill those into the outside of the home. So maybe there's another way to do it. Like I said before, I could probably get one of those kind of sticky things maybe attach this there outside. Then you just gotta hope that no one comes through and pulls your doorbell off your side of your home. But they won't know that it's stuck there in that way. So that would be a positive, unless it falls one day and then it's just sitting there and then people see it and pick it up. So that would suck too. But you'll have your other cameras there to see who picked it up. So this, I don't know what that's for, but obviously this is the tool that they're indicating on here. So I'm not going to go into all that right now. That's pretty much everything that says the box. Nice little packaging. So wire extension, I guess, pieces that they were referring to. And that's really about it with all that. I am, like I said before, not going to do a setup or anything like that, but I just want you to see the products here. I'm not going to take the plastic off that's covering the lens, but I'll take the rest of it off for now, because I'm not going to set it up right now, but just so you guys can kind of see how this thing looks. Now, I did look at some videos where it compared this to the Ring, and it looked like the Ring was, I'm just going off of what I've seen, so I don't want you guys to quote it on this like this was his expert opinion, but I've seen some videos where I was doing research in advance on it. I thought this thing stayed on here like that. There we go. And what it showed was that the Ring was a tad, not a lot, a tad, like very minute, slightly better in visual quality, but not enough to really make that much of a difference at all. But this was wider, and to me, it pick your poison. I think the wider was a better, and I didn't know that before going into it. I found that out after I bought it, because I was gonna just go with the Blink one because it was on sale, and the whole thing was like on sale. Those three came as one set deal. The three camera. I mean the three cameras with the one camera, but they just kind of broke it down into that setup of the three camera box and then the one. But yeah, so that's why I bought that. Was that this thing was on sale separately, so it wasn't part of that as a package, but just the price of this was a lot better, almost like half the price of the Ring at the time. The Ring wasn't really on sale like that, or I think it was on sale, but its sale price was about like $58 and some change. This thing's sale price was like $29.99. So, like I said, and looking at the differences between the two, you're really not going to get much of a difference in terms of video quality, but then this one's a little bit wider, but not that much wider. So you really could say just pick your poison between the two. You're not going to go wrong with either one. They're just only slightly better in what they're doing versus the other one. So I don't want you to think it's like that much better in terms of this one's like super a lot wider and the other one's super a lot better quality. That's not the case at all. So I'm just going to close that back up real quick. Now, this is if you guys are just ordering just one camera. This will let you know at least what it comes with. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered to even do this, but because I'm already going to do the other one. But I just want you guys to see, in regards to what's actually coming with it. You know what I mean? Because maybe you guys just want to order the individual, and that's it. Peace of mind starts here. It's a very simple system. Not only have I, like I said, I had one before. Mine was like the third version, which they say, I'm going to tell you some of the benefits of this over that one that's been improved that I've seen from the research. But I remember hooking up the system before I even bought one, hooking up the system for a family member, and it seemed to work pretty good. And it's nice. It's a nice security system that's going to give you good quality video, and it's going to be, for the most part, affordable in the aspect that well, one, you catch it on sale and it's affordable in that way, but it's affordable in the aspect of that it's like more of like a, for lack of a better word, a modular type of system, in a sense, like you add the parts that you want to, and since it's wireless, unlike having, if anyone's ever had the old style video systems, you know that the brick um base, the not brick base, but like that whole, I call it brick because it's just huge. It's like a huge like VCR looking thing. You know what I'm talking about? It looks like a cable box. That whole thing right there. Um, that whole thing right there. It has a limited amount of. If you have the old school ones, they have a limited amount of cameras you're able to attach to it. It's wired. It's a whole bunch of craziness. This gets you into a very streamlined system that works so easy now because it's so modernized. I know this from, like I said, setting up for a family member. Once you connect it to the module system two is what it's called, the little box, and it's like the same size as this camera. Actually, it's probably a little thinner because these cameras now are a little bit more bulky because versus the third version because they have new stuff, and I'm going to tell you about that in a moment. But it's a roughly about that same size. You have one of those, connects to your Wi-Fi. You have these batteries come with them. You set them up where they're going to be. They last for 2 hours. They're motion activated. It's a very simple system to set up, simple system to get going. It's modular in the aspect that you need more cameras. Cool, just buy them. Set them up. They connect right onto your system that's already running. Put the cameras where you need them to go. With that being said, I feel like it's a very easy, simple system. Now, I'm not saying that versus some other newer systems that might be the same way, but I'm comparing it to those old, dated type of systems that anyone who's actually had before is familiar with. So I digress. Um, let's see here. What's coming inside it here? This should probably be the package with things like batteries and stuff like that. So it comes with a little mount. And this would lock right into the back area here. I don't know if it needs another piece to do it, or I know in the past it was like that. I don't know if now I gotta, if it just clicks in or however it's done, but generally you do that there. And then this piece right here, I think it used to have one of those sticky things, but I don't know anymore. These are screws. The batteries in there. I don't think they have them anymore like that. Now it's just screwed. I thought that they had a little sticky thing on the back. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I know the stand used to actually be smaller than this. So it's funny how this is actually bigger. What you do is you unscrew that, and once you unscrew that, you're able to just kind of go in and put the batteries in. You seal it back up. You would unscrew that with this tool right here, just so you guys see how that works. I'll show you with this one here, and then the rest of them I won't do it, but you'll know how it works because obviously they're all the same. There you go. So I hope this is not important information because I have it there and it's shown here. But essentially, so that right there is USB-C port because you would take this here and you would pull it open and just plug in. And that gives it the water sealing because this is a indoor-outdoor. You put your batteries in and that's pretty much it. And you seal it up. So like I said, it's very simple. Like in the setup process, sometimes depending on your connection, it can get a little tricky, but for the most part, it's not hard. When I did it for a family member, I did it and it wasn't a problem. When I did it for myself, I had a little bit of problems. So I think it's just really about, luck of the draw and you just getting it, I don't know. I can't really explain, but it's really not a big deal. And obviously you want to make sure that this is screwed in tight because you want to make sure that it stays waterproof. So that's, I won't say don't go so hard to break your thing, but there you go. Now I'm going to throw that back in there, and then what I'm going to get into is the put that like that. Hopefully I'm doing all of this correctly as I put it back because I will set it up, but I don't want to have everything laying around until I actually really set things up like that. So what I was going to say real quick is some of the features that are supposed to be better in this one over the third generation is the clarity of the camera. Even though they're still all 1080p, there's a higher clarity based on the sensor, the software, whatever the case is, different things going on inside. It's a little bit more clear. The resolution is a little bit better in terms of the clarity. Obviously, anyone who's familiar with camera stuff knows that lenses play a role, software play a role, all that kind of stuff. So it's not just simply saying 1080p and all 1080p is the same. They're not. So that's gotten better. It's a little bit wider. So that's also an improvement. And the night vision has gotten a little bit better because now that it's a little more clear, um, in the daytime and the nighttime. Obviously, in the nighttime, that plays a bigger role because it's going to really greatly enhance your night vision to be a little more clear versus the daytime where even though it's a little more clear, obviously the third generation in the daytime was already clear as it was. This fourth one's going to be a little better, but at nighttime is when you're going to see even a bigger deal because it's hard enough seeing things black and white. It goes to black and white at nighttime, and when it does, you getting a bit more clarity is going to go a longer way at nighttime. Obviously, like I said, wider angle camera, so you're getting that too. So all the little bonuses you're getting between the clarity, better night vision, and wideness really is a pretty big significant jump when you add them all together. Individually, they're not that big, but you add all three of those together versus having one of the third generations. The reason why I'm pointing out that versus the third generation is because besides for anyone who may be looking to upgrade, I don't think it's worth upgrading if you already have the other system, but maybe you need an additional camera, or maybe you want to replace just one of your cameras. Maybe you have the one maybe in the front of your door, and you're like, I want that one to have better vision. The other ones, I don't need really particular details. I just need them to see a general area. So I'll replace that maybe front camera. In that case, you would just get the single one, like this box, and you see what comes with it. And then you would do that, and then maybe use that other one for somewhere else in the house. Or if you're just buying this now for the first time, like I was, they offered um, a pack as well with the third generation because Amazon will sometimes do that to get rid of their old, models of something. They do it with their tablets, they do it with their Fire Sticks and Fire TVs and all that kind of stuff. They will sell the third generation at a cheaper price, and like what the deal they were giving with that one was for the same price of you paying to get four of these, you could have got five of the generation three, roughly about the same price. And after looking at the little upgrades, I'm like, you know what? I don't need more than four cameras necessarily. So, and I do have my other third generation one already somewhere. I got to find it because I don't know what I did with it. Um, so, with that being said, I felt that it was worth the upgrade. So, I just want to say it to you guys because if you're looking to get it, and you're saying, well, you know what? Like, there's a better deal for generation three. Look at some videos that show the video quality and consider it because the truth is, I think that you might be just better off going with the four if you're getting it on sale. If both times that you're purchasing it, it's on sale, then I would say that go with the four because it has three different things about it that are an upgrade versus the third generation. And here, last, we're going to open up this, and I'm not going to go too crazy into this because you already seen what the camera looks like. Battery power, smart camera, fourth generation, peace of mind, anytime, any weather. Camera resolution, video up to 1080p, photo resolution is not all that high, but that's fine. You're not really using this for photos, lithium batteries, high-speed internet requirements, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, what's in the box? 3 Blink outdoor 4 cameras, the batteries, mounting kits, sync module too. Okay, so this one actually comes with the new sync module. So what I will end up doing later, obviously not on camera because you guys don't need to see this part, but I'm going to check to see my old sync module. And if it's the sync module 2, I believe it is. I'm pretty sure it is. And that's the latest model. I'm going to make sure that's not a sync 1 because I actually got it maybe about a year ago. So if it is, then since it's already set up, I don't have to worry about it's already set up to my internet. It's already set up to all that. So all I have to do is just attach the cameras. I'm not going to have to worry about, doing any further. But if not, and my thing is an outdated one, it's a sync, whatever, then I am going to um, have to obviously set this one up. So for any of you guys who are in that same situation, just know that you can do that. Okay. So this brought into the system and not just the cameras, which then makes me wish that maybe, I don't know if they would even offered a deal where it's just the cameras, but if they did at the time for the sale price, then maybe I would have opted for that, but it's fine because I got a good price anyway. But essentially, yes. And if you have the extra system like that, the module systems, say if you buy into this again, you already have one, right? Maybe you're upgrading, you want to get some more cameras, whatever the case is. What's cool about that is that you could now use that modular system in another location that you might have. What if you have, I don't know, or whatever the case is, maybe you have another spot in the office space or some other place that's not someone else's home, but like where you would, put it for yourself, your own use, a garage or something like that, that's not at your home. And there you go. So that is the setup there. Um, this is what that module looks like that I was telling you about. You can see how thin it is. So the old cameras used to be a little thinner, and this was closer in size to those. I'm sorry, but now, these cameras are a lot more thicker. But it's fine because you're getting stuff with them, better resolution, better quality. So let's see. What's these are gonna beneath these are gonna have the same thing you just saw in the other unboxing of the individual camera. So I am going to just see what's inside the bottom of this real quick so you guys can see. But before I do that, you can't see it here, but I'm reading the top of this box real quick. It's just instructions on getting started with Blink. It says it's easy. Existing users skip step 2. So let's read through step 1 to 2 to 3 and see why they say that. Download the Blink Home Monitor app and create an account. If you already have one, you already have that. Select plus add device in the top right corner of the app. Add your sync module. Like I just mentioned before, if you already have that, which I just said I did, you could skip that. So anyone else who's in that situation, repeat step 2 to add your cameras to your system. So the same way you would add the module to the app, then you add the cameras to the app as you go along. But you would be able to skip adding the module if you already have it. You just add the cameras, which is nice because at that point, the flow of it goes pretty easy. Follow the in-app instructions to complete the setup, and that's it. So it's a very simple setup. Like I said, I installed it for a family member before, and I didn't have a problem. I installed it for myself, and I ran into some problems. But sometimes that's just how it goes. Really, it was just with connection. It wasn't really anything else. And the truth is, when I was doing it, I actually was doing it, and I wasn't even home. So that made it a little bit harder. I was actually doing it, I think, on my hotspot. So what you get in the box is a brick. You get a old USB cable. So just be aware of that. Make sure you don't break this because this is your standard old school USB type of setup. So obviously, most people now who have cell phones, especially if you're using Android, now the new iPhone 15 is going to be using this too. But if you got MacBooks, whatever, everyone's got the USB-C ports. We don't really have these ports anymore, so make sure you don't break it. But usually, once you plug this in, you don't got to worry about it again. This thing plugs into the side of this, and after that, you're good to go. It's going to connect to your Wi-Fi. You're going to go through the app, and once that's set up, that's it. It's going through your whole home. Set up your cameras like I just read you the instructions, and that's pretty much it. So what's really cool, like I said, about the system is that it's probably one of the most easiest and affordable wireless systems of good quality that you can jump on. Obviously, you're not going to have the option of continuous recording. So if anybody is looking for a system like that, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, this is not the system for you if you're looking for continuous recording. If that's not something you need, like, so for example, my old school system, which like I said was very dated, I actually bought it in 2012, and it was considered high resolution, not high def, because they were just coming out with high def at that time, and that was just before they really kind of pushed that out there like that. And it looked nice, and I was able to see a lot of things very clearly, had night vision and everything like that. With that being said, that system, what I was about to mention, was that that system had continuous recording because you had that big old brick, like I was just telling you about, that looks like a VCR, a cable box, and it um, has that storage to where after 30 days, it will just delete what was previously on it and continue to record, deleting a new day as you go along. But it's not wireless. You got all these wires all around. The trade off with the wireless is, and there you go, it says right there, 2-year battery life. But that's really revolving around the idea of, um, that's really revolving around the idea of it's only recording when it gets activated through motion detection or when you choose to turn on. So one thing you could do when you're in the app is you can choose to look at the video at that moment, and then you can like see what's going on at that moment, and you're not recording, you're just watching what's going on at the moment. And you can press record on your phone, like you're looking on your phone at the you know like on your screen, you're looking at what's going on, on the camera at the moment. You can see all the cameras, and while you're looking at them, you can press a button to record, or you're just looking at what's currently going on just as a current surveillance, but it's not recording full time, obviously, because if you did, the battery's going to drain out. So uh, their motion detection recording. Now here I'm looking at the box now. I paused for a second as I started reading this box at the same time. It says right here, enhanced motion detection and in-person detection. So that might be a new feature where it's detecting the people, where you could do it like that, where I guess in that case it won't go off as much to record other random things. They're going to record, record, a person. Right here it says available Blink subscription can be sold, so you can get that. And when you first start up, you get like a free, I think, 30-day trial of the subscription. So the way that works is when you do that, it will record and send it to the cloud. When you run out of the subscription, what you have to do, if you run out of the subscription, right? You have to plug in into the system, which is the little square piece. We're just going to call that the system for right now. That's the Sync 2 modular system. We're just going to call it the system. Plug into the system box, and with a USB drive, however many gigs you're going to use for it, and it will record to that. That becomes your recording base. After you run out of your 30-day free subscription, that's what they used to offer. I don't know if they offer now. And if you don't have a paid subscription, that's how you would do it. You'd have to put it on that, and then what will happen is you would then be able to, that you're saving it to that. Now I don't know if you're able to view it from the little modular system being plugged in and just viewing it on the app through the modular system. I don't know if you could do that, because when I was using my camera, I still had the 30 days. It won't go to that flash drive while you have the free 30 days. It's only when you don't have the free 30 days anymore, or you don't have the paid subscription, that'll automatically kick into going to the flash drive. From the best of my knowledge, when I was using it, now you can look up to find out if it it works differently than that. But that was from when I read it. That's what my understanding was at the time. Now I just want you to know I didn't use my camera all that much. I kind of played around with it. I used it for a minor setup, but I really didn't. I was just testing out the system. I didn't go full fledged into the system, though I knew I was going to at some point or another. At the time, I didn't. Now, in addition, I wanted to say just a little quick minor thing. You see, say on the box, add-on camera. So, like I was saying before, this obviously doesn't come with the little modular system, and it tells you that where this one says camera system. So if it says system, that means come with the modular. If it doesn't, then it's just going to say camera add-on. And the Video Bell itself is a separate product, but it will work with the Sync modular too. It says right here, sold separately. So it gets better when you use it with the modular system, the module system. So yes, so just throwing that out there. Obviously, you see here some of the features that it has on the bell, where if you were just using a camera in place of a bell, you wouldn't have things like you do have the two-way audio, which this has two-way audio too, but you have the chime system. And yeah, I guess the other one you have two-way audio too, but I think it works differently because I don't know. I don't know how the setup works, but these ones have the ability to do it. But you got to press a switch on your thing to talk. But I don't know. Maybe they work the same way. The only difference is this one has a chime. So, like I said, maybe you can use this in place of a bell. The only difference is that someone can ring this, and I think it automatically notifies you. I'm not 100% sure because I really got to find out how it goes. Let's see. No more wondering who is at your door. Blink Video Doorbell lets you answer your door no matter where you are. Receive customized alerts from the Blink Home Monitor app and experience home blah blah blah. Save share brands blah blah blah. Yeah, I'm not gonna know at the obviously because I haven't I don't have these things up and running. But I'm sorry that the videos got so long. But for the best of my knowledge, I think that with this being that they ring it similar to the Ring doorbell, I think when it's rung, then it will alert you automatically, and then you'll be able to start watching them from the video. Whereas obviously, if you were using a camera as your doorbell, someone would have to let you know that they're there, and then you'd have to go, okay, now I'm going to activate my camera to look at them because I don't know if you get a notification when your cameras activate on your app. I'm not too familiar with that, so you may have to look into that. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to put the link in the description for a couple of different Blink option setups and affiliated links down below. Pick your poison, whatever one works for you, however many cameras you need. If you just need 3 setup and they have that on sale, you need a 4 setup, they have that on sale. Make sure it says camera system with it and not just add on, because then at that point you're not getting the module system unless you already have the module system. In that case, you could just get add on cameras. Same thing with the bell. This is more cheaper than these. So, if you just need that, go with that. I have a relative who lives in an apartment. They have that outside their apartment door. So don't feel like you can't have this, even if you're not living in a home. You can get this, put it inside your home, right outside of your apartment door, and nail it to your door, whatever the case is. There's nothing wrong with that. In addition to that, too, you may want to have these things for your apartment if you want. If you feel like, I don't know, like someone like break into your apartment or whatever the case is, you can always do stuff like that. So there's that. Yeah, like I said, links in the description. Have any questions, anything I'm capable of answering, you can put them in the comments down below. I really don't know a whole bunch about the system. I advise you do some additional research. This is just letting you know how it looks like, the size of it, so you get a general idea on if it's worth buying just based on the form factor. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.